Hello friends, welcome back to the third lecture of our computer skills for LIC HFL Junior Assistant. In this lecture, we are going to cover Microsoft Office, which consists of Word, Excel, PowerPoint. So every shortcut, every formula, everything we are going to see in this video. Okay. So before we begin, right, let's see the basic structure of LIC HFL exam. English language 40 questions, 40 marks. Logical reasoning 40 questions, 40 marks. General awareness, special focus on housing finance 40 questions, 40 marks. Numerical ability 40 questions, 40 marks. Computer skills 40 questions, 40 marks. So total 200 questions, 200 marks in 120 minutes, that is in 2 hours. You have to attempt 5 sections. One of the sections is our computer knowledge, which consists of basics of computers, which is already covered, input and output device, which is already covered. In this lecture, we are going to do MS Office, Word, Excel, PowerPoint. Other than that, internet networking, computer abbreviations, software and hardware fundamentals, and computer security is there. So let's see the first question. Which shortcut key is used to save a document in MS Office? Control P, Control S, Control A, Control C. So what is the shortcut used in MS Word to save a document? It is Control S. Control S is a standard keyboard shortcut used to save the current document. It helps prevent data loss and should be used frequently while working. Question 2. Which shortcut key is used to copy selected text? Control X, Control V, Control C, Control Z. So to copy a selected text, you have to use Control C. Control C copies selected text, images or objects to the clipboard without removing them from their original location. Question 3. Which shortcut key is used to paste copied content? Control P, Control V, Control X or Control D. So after copying is done with Control C, what do you use to paste it? It would be Control V. Control V pastes content that has been copied or cut and stored in the clipboard. Question 4. Which shortcut key is used to cut selected text? Control X, Control C, Control V or Control Z. So for cutting a text, not copying, cutting, directly removing from that area but also copying it. So it copies as well as removes it. It would be Control X. Control X removes the selected content and places it in the clipboard for moving it elsewhere. That means it does the job of Control C as well, but as well as deleting it as well. Question 5. Which shortcut key selects all content in a document? Control S, Control A, Control P, Control D. What is used to select all the content in a document? It would be Control A. Control A selects all texts, images, tables, and objects present in a document. So everything present in this particular PDF, if I do Control A, it will select everything. Control A. Which tab contains options such as font, paragraph, styles, insert, review, home, view? Which tab contains such options as font, paragraph, and style? That means you are basically selecting things that will be in home. The home tab contains the most commonly used formatting commands such as font size, bolding, alignment, styles. Everything is present in home. Which feature checks spelling and grammar errors? Mail merge, spell check, header, footer. So in any file, if you do any grammatical mistake or spelling check, that happens using spell check. Spell check identifies spelling and grammar mistakes and suggests the corrections for it. Question 8. Which tab is used to insert pictures in MS Word? Home, Review, Insert, View. So which tab is used to insert pictures in MS Word? It would obviously be Insert. The Insert tab allows users to add pictures, shapes, charts, tables, and other objects. So all insertion would be done from my Insert tab. Question 9. What is the default file extension of MS Word 2007 and later versions? So after 2007, from 2007, what is the default extension of that MS is .doc, .txt, .docx or .rtf. So your answer would be .docx. Docx became the default Word document format starting from Microsoft Office 2007. Which feature is used to create personalized letters for multiple recipients? Word art, mail merge, smart art, hyperlink. So you are sending letters to multiple recipients, multiple people you are sending your letters, but in a personalized way. So that would be mail merge. Mail merge combines a template document with a data source to generate personalized letters, labels, and emails. So that means if there are 5 people called Rahul, Raghav, Aryan, and stuff like that, so their names will automatically change depending on the recipient address. So that is personalized. Which function is used to add numbers in Excel? Count, sum, max, or average. So to add numbers in Excel, it would be summation, sum. Sum is one of the most frequent Excel functions and adds values from selected cells. Question 12. Which function counts cells containing numbers? So only the cells which contain numbers, only those cells I will count. Count, sum, average, or concat. So which method do we use? It would be count. Count only counts the cells that contain numeric values. So only numbers, whichever cell will contain, that cell I am going to count. Question 13. Which function calculates the average of values? Count, sum, average, min. So the cell which contains the average of values would be which method function that does the average of cells would be average. It calculates the arithmetic mean of selected numbers, that means average of numbers. Question 14. Which symbol is used to start a formula in Excel? At the rate, hash, equals, dollar. Which symbol is used to start a formula? It would be equals. For every Excel formula begins with an equal sign. So equal of that formula, that is how you are going to write. Question 15. What is the intersection of a row and column called? Sheet, cell, range, workbook. So your answer would be cell. A cell is the basic unit of a worksheet where data is encountered. Where a row and a column meet, that particular block is called as cell. Question 16. Which function returns the highest value? Min, average, max, sum. So that means the maximum value which is going to be returned is by this function max. Max identifies the largest value in a selected range. Question 17. Which function returns the smallest value? Min, max, sum, count. The smallest, that is the minimum value, would be returned by min. Min identifies the smallest value in a selected range. Question 18. What is a workbook in Excel? A chart, a presentation, an Excel file, a formula. So a workbook in Excel is an Excel file. A workbook contains one or more worksheets and is saved as an Excel file. Question 19. Which tab is used to create charts? Insert, Preview, View, Home. So to create charts, I am going to my Insert tab. Charts, graphs, visualizations are created using options available in the Insert tab. Question 20. What is a worksheet? A slide, a page within a workbook, a chart, a formula. So a worksheet is a page within a particular workbook. Worksheet contains rows and columns used for storing and analyzing data. Question 21. Which file extension is used for PowerPoint presentations? .pptx, .xlsx, .docx, .accdb. So we all know it is .pptx. .pptx is the default PowerPoint presentation format introduced in Office 2007. So every time you see X, it means it is from Office 2007. Question 22. Which view displays all slides as thumbnail? Reading view, slide sorter view, slide show view, notes view. So only the thumbnail of that slide you can see. So that view is found from the slide sorter view. Slide sorter view displays all slides together, making it easy to rearrange them. Question 23. Which key starts a PowerPoint slideshow from the beginning? F1, F2, F5, F12. So to start a slideshow from the beginning, you need F5. Pressing F5 starts the presentation from the first slide itself. Question 24. Which feature adds visual effects between the slides? Animation, transition, header, footer. Visual effect between the slides would be added by transition. Transition controls how one slide changes to another during a slideshow. Question 25. Which feature adds movements to objects on a slide? Movement to objects, animation, transition, theme, layout. So the feature which adds movement to objects on a particular slide is animation. Animation applies effects to texts, images, and other slide objects. Question 26. Which tab is used to insert a new slide? Home, Review, Design, View. So to insert a new slide, you would go to Home. The Home tab contains New Slide option. Question 27. Which PowerPoint feature provides a consistent design throughout a presentation? Theme, Formula, Mail Merge, Worksheet. So we all know it is theme. Theme provides a coordinated color, fonts and effects across all the slides. So as you see in my PPT, all of the colors and everything, there is a dot below. Everything is applied in all of the other slides as well. Question 28. Which option is used to print presentation handouts? Notes page, handout printing, animation pane, slide master. So to print my presentation handout, I need handout printing. The handout printing allows multiple slides to be printed on a single page. Question 29. Which feature allows adding speaker notes, notes pane, animation pane, transition pane, format painter? So to add my speaker notes, I can go to my notes pane option. Speaker notes helps presenters remember key points without displaying them to the audience. So it will not be displayed to the audience. Question 30. Which Microsoft Office application is primarily used for data analysis? Word, PowerPoint, Excel, or Outlook? So for data analysis, we use Excel sheets because Excel provides formulas, charts, pivot tables, and data analysis tools, making it the preferred Office application for handling numerical and analytic tasks. So with that, we have come to the end of today's session. For other lectures, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you.